Have you ever wondered how you can spice up your animation with adding a random loop in Animate CC? Well, then you definitely should miss today's little tutorial. You pretty often encounter animations that contain a loop, for example in hero elements. Yet playing exactly the same animation over and over again can become quite boring for the audience pretty fast. Therefore, it might be a small but effective enhancement to add a little random aspect to the animation sequence. Let's take a look at an example. In this animation, the character walks onto the stage, turns toward the audience to speak, and display the logo. In order to make this a little bit more interesting, he sometimes smiles after talking, but randomly skips this smiling animation. This is just a small thing, but it can already have quite the effect, since you might just subconsciously realize that something was different and your attention is drawn back to the animation. Now, how do we do that? It is in fact fairly simple and requires only a tiny bit of code, but don't worry, it won't hurt. So first of all, let's take a look at the animation sequence. Here we have the entire animation, and I have added labels to mark the different parts of the animation. As you probably already know, you can easily create an animation loop in Animate CC by adding an action on the timeline and using the command go to and play with the corresponding label as argument. Now at this point on the timeline, we want to use a random value to decide whether the timeline should continue and therefore show the smiling animation, or loop back instantly to the beginning of the speaking sequence. We are in an HTML5 project here, so our scripting language is JavaScript. In JavaScript, we have access to predefined methods such as mathRandom. This returns an arbitrary number between 0 and 1. Now we can use an if statement to determine whether or not this number is smaller than a value of our choice. I have used 0.8 here, which means on average that the if statement is in 80% of the cases true, in which case the following command will be executed. In our example here, the command loops back to the beginning of the speaking sequence, thus skipping the smile animation. Of course, you can adjust the value to fit your needs. Also, the mathRandom method can be used for other use cases where you need to randomize animations, for example in games in order to have targets appear at a random interval or something like that. Well, that's pretty much it for today. I hope I could give you a little bit of inspiration for your next Animate CC project. Feel free to leave any comment or pose any questions you might have, and stay tuned for more videos and tips and tricks for interactive web animations. Happy animating!